Joni Roberts. Joni Roberts is the founder and chief evolution officer of Evolution University. Now, in 2020, we solve problems for people and the planet by making products and living services. This includes new frameworks, online courses, books, training, and consulting services that include education and action to sustainability. In 2023, Joni was invited to become a student for the Council of Inclusive Capitalism and Evolution University became an executive global goals department. She also served on the university's individual task force for sustainability and academics, and is a board member with the board for the Thinker Conference, which she is here to represent tonight. Please welcome Joni Roberts.
Hello, and thank you all for being here tonight. And even though my school is virtual and because it was launched during the pandemic in November 2020, we were more global and we have these affiliations with the global goals of the United Nations. However, change happens at the local level, like right where you are. So for all of you to be here tonight shows the interest that we need at the local level to do what we can, where we are, with what we have. And tonight I'm going to talk a little bit more from the business perspective and the consumer's perspective. So I'm representing the North Florida Green Chamber and also my own online training and consulting company, Evolution University. And just a little bit about my why, like why am I doing this? Because Turtle and online school takes a lot of effort, and I knew that. And I knew if I was going to say yes to this, that it was going to be a long run to make this come to life and be successful and really reach people. So for as long as I can remember, I've had a deep passion for protecting the planet and a love for nature and animals. And I'm a business professor, and I see what our consumption-driven economics is doing to our planet. And we absolutely have to make changes. So I decided, yes, I'm going to step up, I'm going to do my part, and this is the way I'm doing that. So how do we get here? It's a great question, right? And this all happened actually so fast that some of you may be unprepared for the reality of what's going on our shared earth. And in a way, it's happened very fast, but it's been building up over a couple hundred years. So, starting with our industrial revolutions, we started not being circular anymore. The products that we were making did just go back into the earth and become compost again, right? Our clothing isn't just made of cotton anymore. It didn't just go and disintegrate. And so it's been happening for a long time, but it's really super accelerating in the past 50 years. And that's why I think so many people are unprepared to recognize what's happening in just less than a lifetime, right? So we have this perfect storm that came together. And right around the 1960s, 70s, we had all of these drivers for globalization that came into being. And my first degree that I have over my master's is in international business. So I have a huge love for global business. However, it is part of the problem, I have to say, in some ways. But what drove globalization were these technological advances. So we had shipping containers that were standardized. And just that made shipping goods around the world so much easier from a ship that you could bring into a port like we have right here in Jacksonville. Put it directly on a train or put it on a truck and move those goods and move them quickly. So that made a big difference. We had the aerospace industry where we started having commercial planes and passenger travel, and we were able to ship goods and people around the world that way too. We had the fossil fuel industry industry just started to really become very powerful. And they managed to create products in plastics that are woven into nearly everything we make, we buy, or use. So what we've done is going to be very difficult to undo, but we did it, so we're capable of undoing it. But we can't undo it without being really conscientious about it, and it's going to be hard. But this isn't easy. We can't do this without intention, and it takes all of us intentionally to make the changes. Another thing that happened is our population has tripled in size from 2.5 billion right around 1960 to 8 billion today. We have so many more people on the planet. And globalization has also helped increase the economies in many nations who are also in the consumer economy just like we are. So we have so many more people in this whole production consumption framework. So the past 50 years have been exponential. And what happened at that point in time is we basically have two paths. We had two choices. And one was participating in the consumption-driven economy. And that meant mass production, mass consumption, faster, cheaper, and more and more and more of it. We make so much stuff today. And also shopping. You know, we're actually encouraged to shop and to help the economy, stimulate the economy, go buy things. And guess what? We get dopamine hits for that. It's fun. It's fun to shop. It's fun to buy. It's fun to do home things. And just like scrolling on your social media, dopamine hits, dopamine hits. So we have to be aware of why this is fun and maybe redirect some of that in a different way. But what also happened around 50 years ago was NASA put men on the moon. And we went out into space. And that in itself is still just mind-blowing that that's ever happened. And it does show you what we can do. So we also at that time, we got the first images of planet Earth. And we saw the blue marble in the universe floating out there. And for the first time, we realized we're one planet that really hit us. And we're not these political boundaries like the United States of America, Canada, Mexico, Germany. That's all made up. We made all of that up. We are actually one planet. And what we do here affects the rest of the world. We make a difference here. And the difference we make here in our climate change makes a difference in polar ice caps melting. So we cannot undo being part of the entire Earth system. So, you know, what happened from these photos was that it really inspired care for the planet, and Earth Day was born in 1970. And so we had this very humble, you know, sense of being this planet floating in the universe and realizing, you know, really, we're just here in a blink. We're a blink. The Earth is apparently 4.5 or so billion years old. And look at what we've done in 50 years. And we can't keep doing this. Because guess what? There's no place else to go. You want to go to Mars or wherever, fine, but can you do, is it really as beautiful as planet Earth? I mean, no thank you. I'd rather stay here and fight for our planet. So we have to wonder which side won. Was it the production, consumption, you know, economics, or was it the Earth Day and the Earth movement? So who won? And really, that depends on your definition of winning, right? What is winning? What does winning look like? And how we show up in the world is a reflection of our values. And our outcomes on the planet are a reflection of our collective values. And this is why we need to rethink what we're doing and how we're engaging in our daily lives, in our decisions, and also in our workplaces, how we are doing things. So I'm thrilled to see all of these organizations here in the Jacksonville area doing really cool things to make a difference. And all of you here too at the Garden Club, to know that you are putting sustainability center to what you are doing, and including recycling. So this is awesome, and I'm just really glad to be here tonight. Because the science shows we are stressing the planet very much so. And this is science done by Johan Rockström. He's a Swedish scientist, and if you're deep in the sustainability movement, you've heard of him. And they have been studying the 9 boundaries. And in 2023, and it takes a lot of scientists doing this, we've crossed 6 of those 9 boundaries. And so the green center there is Earth, and we need to be inside of that green center. But we're outside of it in 6 of the 9 boundaries. So we absolutely cannot continue this way unless we do want to end up on a planet that looks like Mars. So what is sustainability in business? So we have with this production consumption drive, it was really a drive for profits, money, faster, cheaper, more of it. And sustainability is about making things last and continue into the future. And for the youth today, where they actually experience something called climate anxiety, it's a real thing. They are sort of terrified for their future. And so it's up to us, the older, wiser people, to do something and undo, the way we've been doing things. So how companies need to be operating today, and a lot of them are. We have examples of companies doing really great things, putting people, planet, and profits, or we could look at it as prosperity, in balance and harmony, and thinking about all the stakeholders that we're impacting when we're doing business. That narrow focus has gotten us into trouble. So right now, we're trying to figure that out. We're right now living it. Well, we're living the headline. We're living the predictions, for one. The headlines show us. We are living the predictions from climate change and what we've done for our planet. But we're also living through a time where each of us is participating and finding a way to do this differently. So we're developing an evolving design of commerce in one where people on the planet thrive as we make products and services. So this extracted, take, and just don't look, just keep going. Well, we know that somehow we have to find a way where we're thriving, the planet's thriving, and we're coexisting within the planetary boundaries. So one change we can make is shifting from a linear economy to a circular economy. The circular is all the reads, already that we're talking about today. So the linear economy is the way we've been doing it. So we take, we make, we dispose. That means we take the raw materials from the earth, we make something out of them, and we toss it in a landfill. And then we use energy from fossil fuels, from finite sources, which adds to more pollution along the way every time we're making things. So a circular economy is a way of redesigning the way we make products. We have to put it into design in the very beginning. And so you make something, you use it, and then you recycle it, or you RE it in some way. And you use energy from renewable sources. So in order to get there, we have to have our products be modular, so they can be broken apart, and the parts and pieces can be put back into the components into the material stream. Again, well, this is a circular economy. And it will require us to be thinking in a lot differently. So instead of faster, cheaper, you need to be thinking, how do we keep our resources at the highest value possible for the longest term? Instead of buy once and replace it, we got into there. Remember back in the day when you fixed your vacuum cleaners when they broke, or you fixed your coffee pots, you actually fixed things. We got out of that with the faster, cheaper, and it just awesome. But now you buy once, you use many times, it's modular, you can take it apart, and we do fix things. And we keep things a long time. Again, we're kind of going back in time, we need to kind of reverse this a little bit. Then we do all the R's, and there are a lot of R's. Refuse is one. We can say no to stop buying things you don't really need. Instead of getting that dopamine hit from shopping, go take a walk in nature, right? Look where we live. It's a beautiful area. 30-minute drive to beautiful parks and the beaches and the day trip to the springs, and really enjoy that and get your high, from that. Rethink how you're getting your buzzes, let's say. We need to reduce, we need to redesign, repair, retain, reuse, refurbish, remanufacture, repurpose, recover, recycle, upcycle, and we need to use renewable, regenerative, and resilient systems. This is an amazing journey, actually, that we get to be on. This is fun. We get to recreate our world again. And some of the ways that you see this appearing in business are through circular business models. So we have the sharing economy. So you buy a bike, one bike, and it's used by many people many times. These may not be perfectly expressed yet. There are some situations where when the bike breaks, they just throw it into a landfill of bikes. So anyway, we do need to get better at creating bikes that are also repairable and reusable, have longevity. Same for ride sharing cars, making maximum use of our own resources, right? Look at Uber, look at Airbnb, we're maximizing the resources that we own personally. Office space sharing, that's really becoming even more. Co-working and digital nomads through technology. So also we have things like garment rental. And we see, even movie stars now will make headlines by renting a garment or reusing a garment that they wore 10 years ago for the Oscars or wearing it again. And that's demonstrating for all of us that we don't need to wear a new outfit every time we go somewhere. And this blouse I have on tonight, I pulled it out, got flowers on, I thought it was nice for the garden club. I haven't worn it in years, but I'm thinking it's probably 5 or 6 years old. So it looks great, right? So I was really caught up in my generation. We didn't wear the same outfit twice in high school. You could never repeat an outfit. And that's a lot to keep up with. So we can repeat even our cocktail attire, maybe even collect these gowns and rent them out and start a business that way. Also products, we can recycle, upcycle, crafts, jewelry, art. We see many examples of that here tonight. And as a consumer, how can you start making better buying decisions? Like, how do you know that you're buying from a company that is striving for the highest good for the planet? And some companies are really well known for that. Patagonia, for example, their brand is all about protecting planet Earth. Unilever has had some really good success with some of their products and making them sustainable. But you can look for these sorts of stamps on the products. Look for fair trade. That way you know that the product isn't just going in and getting as cheap as they possibly can without making it dark for the people they're buying it for. They're actually getting a fair price and they want people to be successful wherever they're buying the products. And look for cruelty-free. You absolutely don't need to harm an animal for your skincare, put lotion on your face. You can get cruelty-free products. So look for that. It doesn't have to say don't buy it. Make a decision. Don't buy it. Organic, you know, that companies are organic, they have better farming practices and probably are doing some regenerative soil and regenerative practices. Look for certified feed corporations to go through a really strict process to get that certification. That means that they are integrated renewable energy, they are doing circular economy, they're on that path and they're making progress. Vegan is also good. The more plants that you eat, the lower your carbon footprint is on the earth. It's the number one thing you can do personally to make a difference is eat more plants. And that's the best diet for the planet. I'm vegan, I'm not saying don't eat meat, but think about meat consumption and think about marketing. We don't need the quantity of meat that we eat today. A real diet for humans is way less meat, and meat production is very climate and carbon intensive. All right, so I am an advocate for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, so I have to say, integrate and support the UN SDGs. These are 17 goals. They're also known as the global goals, and they act as a blueprint for what we can be looking at to help restore or improve on our planet. And they cover climate issues, environmental issues, and social issues. And they're comprehensive. They're a great city planning tool. They're a great business planning tool. They're a great community planning tool. I love to talk about them, and I'd be happy to share more about that. So Denise mentioned that my organization, Evolution University, which is a certificate granting school, not a degree granting school, is a United Nations Global Goals partner. So that's really exciting to be a part of that, and more people super invested in making the world a better place. And we align to SDG 4, which is quality education. That's our biggest goal. And being with the Council for Inclusive Capitalism, I have commitments to promote the SDGs with them as well. So you will have counted in my commitments for this year. I have reached 1,000 people, so I should take a head count here. All right, other ways you can be involved. We're already here with the Garden Club, but we would also invite you to join the North Florida Green Chamber of Commerce. And tomorrow we have a quarterly meeting, and we're having a recycling event, which is for electronics. So we have an organization there to collect electronics, which Republic and Curbside does not take. So here's a chance for you to let go of some of those items. We have Catherine Denise, our City of Jacksonville Rezoning Officer, talking tomorrow. She's going to be really great. And we would like to invite all of you to join us next Tuesday for our biggest fundraiser of the year, which is the Green Tie event, or I'm sorry, Green Tie Fair. And it's next Tuesday in Springfield. And if you want to meet more people who are in the movement, who are doing good things, please come join us. We'd love to get to know you more. And then you can join Evolution University. It's free. I have a mix of free and paid courses, and I do training and consulting if anyone has a need for that or an interest in that, please let me know. And right now we have 250 members in 50 countries across 5 continents because we were launched during the pandemic. So we're all here to make this world better. And with that in mind, I'd love for you all to think right now, like, what are your next 3 actions for the planet? Based on what you've heard about tonight, what do you think you can do better? Because we can all do better. every company, even those furthest along the path, like the path, they know you can do better. And they know that, and they're doing better all the time. So if anyone wants to share your ideas or just write them down and make some decisions for yourself. Yeah, so thank you all very much. If you have any questions for me.